My name is Ragnar Sinikas, and I'm the founder of Starpreneur TV, How to Dominate Your Decade talk show, World Women Conference and Awards, creator of Coral Desk, Changemakers coach, public speaker, and co-author of the Dominate the Decade book. Thank you for joining us today. Today, I have the honor to talk with April Hawley. She's a breakthrough leadership coach that has helped many men and women to break barriers within their own life. Her powerful story of how she evolved into becoming an innovative, empowering, and life-changing coach allows those who hear her story to be challenged, equipped, and empowered. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome April. April, tell us a little more about your story. Why are you doing what you're doing, and why is it your passion?
So my story really started out that I grew up living a real life Jerry Springer episode every single day. If you've ever watched that show and you see people fighting and there's arguments and chaos, that was my everyday reality. So I grew up just thinking that that's how everybody lived. And over the years, as much as I said I would never grow up in addiction, I too became part of my atmosphere, and that's where I landed. I landed myself in a full-blown addiction, and I was 30 years old. I had received a phone call that literally shook my entire life upside down. And the guy on the other line said, "April, do you want to be a parent or do you want to be a drug addict?" And at that moment, I literally was like, wow, I have some decisions to make, but they weren't decisions such as like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to choose. It's like, I can't believe I got to this point today where I'm at having to face a situation or a question like that.
But what is your background before? Like, what were you doing? What is your education? What is your job experience? All of that. Like, we want to see the essence. Like, where are you coming from?
So I went up to 12th grade, and then because of the lifestyle that I was running, I was like, I don't want to finish the last 3 months of school. I know that sounds completely crazy. So I left school. I went and got my GED. I actually started in a sales position doing cold calls as a telemarketer. I realized that I had a passion for sales. So I'll kind of give you, this will take you back into where this came from. But so I've always been an ethical drug addict, an ethical drug dealer. And people came to me because they knew I wouldn't lie or steal or rob them. And so I felt like I was helping people. So through selling drugs, I literally took that and transformed it in how to sell ethically, like for an actual paycheck. And through that, I did some college and figured out that I do not like blood. I do not want to be a nurse, even though I thought it was cool at the time. And then I started selling, I started getting into like more of the wireless communications. And through that, I really blossomed. So for the last 8 years of my entire life, so over 8 years, my life has changed upside down. And I've become in the top 1% of our entire company for US Cellular. I literally go to Mexico every year on a paid vacation because I don't sell to people to sell to them. I actually am passionate about what I do. And because I'm very ethical in everything that I do, people, they want to do business with me.
And how did all this coaching and speaking and all of this started?
So about 4 years ago, I was going through, so I had gotten clean, and at this point I was clean for about 5 years. But over that 5 years, I had started drinking like crazy because it was legal. I didn't think it was a problem. So I was drinking to hide another part of my pain, which was living with codependency. I was codependent on my ex-spouse, who we were together for 13 years. That's kind of all we knew. And about 4 years ago, I said I had had enough. My dad had literally came to the house to visit me. And when I opened the door, he said, "April, you're starting to look like me, a big gut and no butt." And I was like, did he really just say this to me? But in my head, I had already known that I was 43 pounds heavier than what I am today. I didn't like who I was. I felt, I didn't feel confident anymore because I was living outside of my purpose. And so I just started working out 30 minutes a day. I joined the Beachbody at that time, and I actually started coaching within this little tribe, and realized that these women were helping inspire and encourage and empower each other. And I wanted to be more of that style of person. So I just jumped in. That's how the fitness part started. And then through running, losing weight, at this point, I had lost about 43 pounds. And it's just crazy to kind of think back on, but women were reaching out to me saying, you know, can you help me? I'm going through a divorce. And I knew I had had a gift, and I always wanted to speak on a bigger platform. And right after my divorce, I found the John Maxwell Team, and I was going through Facebook, and I was like, oh, so I called and reached out, and the next thing I know, I'm getting a call from Macy, and they told me the price, and I was like, I can't do this. Like I have 3 kids. I just went through a divorce. I can't. But something inside me, it's like faith doesn't make sense until you look at things in reverse. And I literally jumped, and I built my wings on the way down, and I did it. I invested in myself. I took every last penny I had in my savings account, and I joined the John Maxwell Team. And here we sit today.
Beautiful story. I heard that story. Actually, me and April, we met at that event, and we happened to sit in the same table. And it's so funny to see now the pictures and remind all of that. So that event was life changing, in a sense that the people that I really did meet there, they have been incredible, adding value to my life. So. I know that you have struggled a lot, and your story have made you much stronger. And I would say that the person that you are today. And one which I always sort of relate to you is the gold digger. What does badass gold digger mean?
So when I started Beachbody, you need some kind of plug, or you need something to kind of set you apart. And so they have this Energize, and it's gold. And I know that through my entire life, through every struggle, no matter what I'm facing, as long as I have something, because I'm a direct and a very driven personality, as long as I have a results based goal where I know I can achieve it, I know I can reach for it and keep going, which literally helps me to dig my way out of the most darkest, blackest holes I've ever been in. And so I was drinking this, this gold, it's called now Gold Diggers Pemp Juice, GOAL, and it's really to set me apart, but it's to know that every day that I pick this up and I get on my story, that people know that I'm out to help get results, help you to become the best badass version of yourself. And we do it by empowering women to know that there's power in your story. No matter where you start, it doesn't define where you're going.
Would you say that this is the reason why you are so passionate about empowering and goals and women in the end of the day, or is it something else or something more?
I think it's all of it. Honestly, when I think about being stuck or codependent, lost in addiction, all I can think about is, how do I reach my hand out and help pull another woman up? We've all been at some really low areas of our life. And the one thing that we we need is somebody to believe in us, somebody to know that there is a way out. And if I can be the light in somebody else's darkness, that's who I want to be. I want to inspire younger females like my daughter. You know, the biggest thing is that I have a 13-year-old, and here I was out searching to inspire other women when I had one right inside my house. But sometimes you don't realize what you have until they get old enough, and you're like, all of a sudden she's working out, and I see that she's duplicating what I'm doing, which means I'm making a difference, and I just need to set and be the best example. So every day I wake up with goals and passion, and I do it by prepping my days. If you're not being prepared, you're honestly setting yourself up for long-term failure.
So how would you, or what would you say, how do you dominate your decade?
I dominate my decade by, the number one thing is calming the chaos. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but once you can really center in and calm that inner noise, pray, meditate, take some time to find out who you are, all of a sudden you start realizing that your outside circumstances, they get a little bit quieter too. You start realizing that some of the people that you're hanging out with, you got to get rid of them. If they're not serving you on a higher purpose, they don't belong in your life. If there's places or like an environment that you know that is not helping you thrive, you need to go up to that next level, because if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And then just making sure that you're getting rid of the habits that no longer serve you. I started realizing that a habit is something that you do, whether it's good or bad. So you always want to make sure, if I'm about to make a decision and I know, okay, I can have that piece of cake. Yeah, that cake is really great. Is it getting me closer to my long-term goals, or is it just giving me short-term satisfaction? So I literally base all of my decisions upon a left or a right. So calming the chaos is the biggest thing. And then fixing your focus. You fix your focus through setting SMART goals, not just any goals, but literally SMART goals. They have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So anytime you're wanting to achieve something bigger and better, you ask yourself, okay, if you want to lose 100 pounds, okay, that's great. You have a goal, but is that realistic in a 2-month time frame? Probably not. So you want to go through and make sure that you're having something that's specific, that you can measure and track it, which means that you can write it down, you can put it in a calculator, your phone, because you want to be able to see results, or you're going to give up faster. And then most of all, dominating your decade, once you've calmed the chaos, fixed your focus, that way you can kill it with confidence every single day, being the best badass version of yourself.
So would you say that those are your 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade as well, or there is something separate from there?
Actually, so it all ties in together for me. I show up dominating my decade, and every decade, probably, I didn't really realize that I was doing some of these things even through addiction and then going through recovery, but just clearing out, do, delegate, delete, that is, let me just tell you, that is a lifesaver. Do what you can do, delegate what you don't need to be doing, and delete the rest, because you do not want to waste time on anything that's not serving you, whether that's giving you satisfaction or not.
Those are very good points to write down. So whoever you're watching now, and if you have any questions, or you want to ask something, or you want to comment something, or you just feel something inside you and you wanna let it out, so please, below this video, leave your comments and your questions. We are going to take care of them, and we will write you back. So we're very sorry that we can't be with you tomorrow live.
My work schedule, it was my fault. It's so crazy with this pandemic, so I apologize. I would say anybody that's listening though, I would ask you to write in the comments, what is a specific goal that you want to achieve in the next 2 weeks? See that by putting a time frame on it, it puts that urgency to it, and then it allows you to actually step up and show up for yourself.
Exactly. So if someone wants to reach out to you or wants to ask something or wants you to be their coach, how can they do so?
You can reach me at www.m21empowerment.com. I had a brain freeze. Yes, it's www.m21empowerment.com. Also Facebook. And I just launched it didn't just launch, but we also have our M21 regular group, which is co-ed. And then I'm the founder of M21 Female Empowerment. And what that really is it's giving you 5 JMT female coaches that go over health and wellness, mind and clarity. You're going to be spiritual growth on that, financial freedom, and building your brand. And through that, you're really getting a deep dive into women that can help and empower you, inspire you. It gives you a safe place to share your stories. And if you're a coach or you just want to get tips on how I grew my group, reach out. I love sharing it, and I love to help other women grow.
Beautiful. That's why we're here. So anything that you want to say as a final note before we finish that whoever was watching and you want them to remember from this interview?
I would say every single day, when you don't want to do something, remember that do today what others won't, so tomorrow you'll have what others don't. During the times that I did not want to keep going, that I felt that I wasn't doing or making enough progress, I would say, what can I do today that I know will get me further tomorrow? So I'll dig deep and I'll work harder. Working hard, determination, and self-discipline will get you further than anything else. So never give up on yourself. Always keep going and be the best badass version of yourself every day.
And the only thing which I can add on is that you need to take action now. So if you found something or heard something today, 1, write it down. 2, execute it in 24, maximum 48 hours if you have very good excuse, like we always have, no? But you can be the change maker in your life, but more importantly, you can be the change maker or the hero in someone else's life. So if you know someone that heard about April's story, and her story is very powerful and very inspiring, so share the story, and who knows, maybe that story will change someone's life, will change someone's mindset, will change someone's entire way of being. So you really can be the change maker and the hero in your own life and the ones that you surround with. I'm going to see you tomorrow, the same time, the same place. Thank you for taking the time to join us, and I hope you keep yourself safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.